We shouldn't be thinking about food as a major concern. It has to be affordable, it has to be accessible. Let's have a system where, you know, people can come together and share a bag of rice, right? And like that. And so it gives access to food and it's still very affordable.
A parent can only lead a child to use AI and write if and only if he also knows how to rightly use AI.
Whatever we do now is a seed for the future. Whatever we do, whether good or bad.
There is you know, he that loves discipline loves knowledge, but he that rates correction is stupid. It's the Bible that says that. So meaning that there's something that just fundamental. No matter the height you get, no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are.
There's this thing that one prof said at some point, that it's better to have a certificate that I won't use than need a certificate that I don't have. So I get to a position in life where I need a certificate, but I don't have it. And that's the only reason why I'm missing the opportunity. Why I could have had it and not use it, and it's okay.
A very good afternoon to our viewers, a very good morning to our viewers, and a very good evening to our viewers. Once again, you are welcome to this podcast, Beyond the Classroom with Professor Adeleke. Thank you for being with us all this while. We encourage you once again to please like, share, and subscribe to our channel so that you'll be the first to know whenever we release a fresh video. Thank you for doing so. This afternoon, in this part of the world, we have another wonderful guest, a female by gender, a professional by calling, and a computer scientist by training. I will want her to introduce herself. I don't want to do the introduction. She will tell us about herself, what she's into presently, and what her future aspirations are. So once again, join me welcoming a very good friend of mine, Temi Okedigba.
Good afternoon, sir. It's such an honor to be here. My name is Temi Okedigba. I'm a graduate of computer science from Bowen University. I have a master's degree from Coventry University in computer science too. And I'm currently running my PhD at Lautech University. I operate in the tech space as a product manager and QA engineer. I'm married. I have 2 lovely daughters. I run a business. I run a business called Manara Foods. It's a grocery business, and I think that's about a summary of who I am.
That's good. That's good. From what you just said, you are a woman. You are a lady of many parts, even regarding vocation. I want you to briefly tell our viewers what is the motivation behind your line, your choice. Let me say 2 things: your choice of your postgraduate program and your choice of your business line.
Okay, my choice of so I'll start with the business. I've always wanted to do something in the food industry, right? But the real motivation was one day I sat down and I was thinking that the people that really need cheap food cannot afford it at the cheap price. So let me explain this. For example, a bag of rice is about 56,000, and by the time you break it down into 1 Congo, you have about it comes to about 1,750
per Congo.
Yeah, per Congo, which is cheaper than what an average person would buy it in the market. On the average, you see 2,000. So the person that needs it, who should have gotten it at the price of the bulk quantity, cannot. They will have to buy at 2,000. So I said, okay, let's have a system where, you know, people can come together and share like a bag of rice, right? And like that. And so it gives access to food and it's still very affordable. And that was what battered the niche of the food business. However, over time, you know, we've had to expand based on demands, based on the dynamics that we've seen in the market and things like that. But the idea is food has to be, we shouldn't be thinking about food as a major concern. It has to
Sure.
be affordable, it has to be accessible, and that was what birthed the business. Okay.
There's one thing I pick from here. Our viewers may think, oh, somebody has passed through the first degree, second degree, and perhaps she's into her third degree. And then what's linked does all these degrees have to do with food availability and food accessibility. You know, that meaning that it's not exactly what you read, like in a course of study, that determines what you do really.
Yeah.
But some things will naturally catch your fancy other than your training.
Yes, sir.
So to our viewers, there is not exclusively you must work with your degree. There are other things that are like on the sidelines that may eventually be your main source of income later.
And that's correct, sir.
Well, that's good. Now go on to what motivates you to pursue a higher degree. You need that in food business too?
Okay, to be honest, right, my pursuing higher degree, particularly the PhD, it was first a question of requirements. So I started my career in lecturing, right?
Okay.
So it was a requirement as a lecturer to, you know, have
Compulsory requirement.
yes, it was it's a compulsory requirement. So I started my PhD while I was lecturing. But along the line, right, I went into industry, and so it wasn't a requirement anymore. And so I thought about it. It's an asset. At the end of the day, we pray for a good future, but you never really know exactly where God will place you and what you will need at that point. And so for me, I just felt like, okay, this is already a bed at hand. I'd started already. I don't get to lose anything by completing it. So that was how I decided that, okay, despite being in the industry, I'll still complete this PhD. Yeah. So right now, in my career line, right now, I don't exactly need it as a requirement like when I started, but I still see it as a very valid asset. And it's always been my aspiration to be a doctor, if that counts for anything. So, you know, all that put together, I just decided, okay, we'll do this PhD and we'll have it here. Yeah.
Now, we have women, but we have girls who have children. We have ladies who have children. And we have women who have children. Can we say all these are mothers? From my understanding, from relating with people, I want to find out that every mother is a woman by gender. But not every woman qualifies to be a mother. Can you throw light on this statement?
Okay, biologically, every woman has the capability. I mean, all things being equal, right? Every woman should have the capability to give birth. That's childbearing. But at the core, child raising and rearing is what defines motherhood. The commitment, the responsibility.
So it's not just giving birth to.
Yes, because giving birth to looks like stage 1, or maybe let's say pregnancy is stage 1, the delivery is stage 2, and then we have the stages like unending. And so if you say because you have done stage 1 and 2, let's even assume that the stages are just 20, right? Would we say because you got to over 10, 20. You have over 20, you have passed?
It's big failure.
Exactly. So what I believe is that motherhood in itself is a responsibility. It's a call to responsibility. The call to commitment is hard work, is intentionality, is prayer, is a lot of things. And so it's not everyone that's given birth that takes on that responsibility of being a mother. Yeah.
Because I've seen women who showed no trace of motherhood in them. And I wonder, and this trait will pass on to this child, and the bandwagon continues. That child will also maybe get married, give birth, follow the same trend passed on by his or her own mother into another generation. Meaning that motherhood is not just a piece of cake. More so, the age in which we are. Even those, our own school parents, they are complaining now, currently. Now imagine those actually in this generation. So meaning that not every woman qualifies actually in being a mother. Now, let's now straight on this motherhood thing. I mentioned something earlier about our old school mothering, new school. There's a group of women I call Gen Z mothers. You know, we have my wife runs a school. We see parents. There was something I witnessed one morning. I just went to that school. I was in the office, my wife's office. The woman came. The woman actually has 2 daughters in that school. The woman came, removed her shoes, was banging the pillar. The 2 daughters were just looking at their mother. All the teachers were looking in utmost disgust. And this is a mother. She was shouting, I mean, unnecessary things. I said, this is also a mother. How will she pass on to these little kids? So I want you to, in your opinion, how do you see the difference between our traditional mothering and the Gen Z mothering? Any disparity? What counsel will you give the Gen Z mothers?
Okay, I think it's really clear that there's a difference, right, between the old way of raising children and the Gen Z, so that I'll use the term that you used, sir. There's a difference. And the reality is that the environment that we find ourselves in now, the situation that we find ourselves in now, it takes extra effort to truly be a mother that is present, that has values, that does things the right way, that is not influenced by everything going on the internet, and so much more. Because if we think about it now, for me, the way my mom raised me had great value. But I cannot take that template 100% and use it to raise my children
currently.
Now. It would be a total mess. We have children in this generation that, you know, while we were growing up, my mom can decide not to wear slippers and tell me, go and wear your slippers. And I would wear it.
Complain.
And I won't complain and I won't revolt. But if I tell my daughter now, go and wear your slippers, the first thing she's looking at is that, am I wearing slippers? So if I'm not wearing, why should she wear slippers? And so there's a level of patience that is required to even raise this generation. But what we now see is that because of things in vogue and all that, we have mothers that we're not proud of some of their behaviors in school. Just like you said, in school, I remember that just, I think some PTAs ago, like I think 2 or 3 PTA in my children's school, they were saying that they were going to suspend or expel children that their moms dress indecently to come and drop them, because it's a Christian school, and you see mothers dress so indecent. So you know, the whole thing is a lot, right? But you have to take a stand to know what you want to impact in your children's life. To know, and it's a call for higher responsibility. There's no internet in those days to train your children for you. NTA will start around 4 p.m.
Close by 11 p.m.
And close 11 p.m. So that's the window that we had to watch anything videographic or something. But now these children have access to internet. They have access to their parents' phone. In fact, there are things that are on your phone that it is those children that will make you realize they are on your phone. So their capacity, their requirements is different. The reality is times have changed, but there are still core values that you must stand for. Honesty, integrity, excellence, things like that.
Those things cannot fade.
Yeah, they can't fade, irrespective of the years between them. So there are things that you must stand for, and it requires intentional parenting for you to be able to say, okay, do this. And there, I recently saw someone, I can't remember the celebrity now, that said that no matter what happens, a child will not collect a phone until this so age, whether the whole world wants to attack her or not. And she did it. In fact, I think the girl did something wrong and she extended it by 1 more year. So these are things that is not easy, considering that everybody is doing something else, but you have to take stand for it, and you have to ask God for help too. Because at the end of the day, it's the result that really truly matters. When the children grow up and then you see them become what you trust God for them to become.
I quite understand. I quite agree with you on those issues you raised. We cannot actually use the template of the 80s, the template of early 90s to train children on the 20 millennium version, millennium edition of our children.
Yes, sir.
I used to have a friend way back in Lagos then. It was say I just went to visit him at home and the children did something terrible. How to discipline this your kids? He said, I don't keep clean at home. My children are not goats. And those children were getting spoiled by the day in the name of I can't beat my children. You know, fine, nobody is saying you train your children to be sheep or goats, but there's a level of discipline you must instill in them. Some things you cannot take out, no matter the generational gap, no matter the evolution of parenthood. Some things are fundamental. The issue of, as you said, truth, honesty, integrity, sincerity, discipline, correction, those things are fundamental. The more correction of a child, that guy is gone, the child is gone. There is you know, he that loves discipline loves knowledge, but he that raised correction is stupid. It's the Bible that says that. So meaning that there's something that just fundamental. No matter the height you get, no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, discipline is a constant. And mothering today is quite different. The way, I mean, from mothering of them in every way. You know, when we grew up in the community life, there's something we call ilekeji. Now, when we were growing up as boys, ilekeji was the house next to us. If you are not at home, you are at ilekeji. Doing what? We are contemporaries there, age mates, playing with. It's today we have gates. Our houses are like prison in this our own generation. You know, our children they are growing under the generation of get inside. We didn't grow with get inside. There was nowhere to get inside too.
I agree with part of get inside.
I grew up with there was no get inside.
No, I had get inside, but I still had the leakage too. So at least we know where I am.
Definitely at any point in time. And quite people argue, well, we have to be more security conscious these days. Security then is not like what we have.
Yes.
We could stay home we stay out in 9 till 10 in those days. During a period of heat like this, you bring our mat outside and sleep until 2-3 a.m. before going inside. You can't try that now. You have to make sure all the doors are locked. Family.
Check it well.
So it's still a very, because it's what mothers pass on their children. Is what fathers pass on their children that they grew up with.
Yes, sir.
And anybody they meet later, they look at that person through the lens of their father and mother. Which is very, very vital. If what parents will have this mindset, we will do well. We will do well in training and bringing up the good in our children. All right. So, our viewers, we like the way you are with us. Please remember to like, to share, and subscribe. And perhaps any question you may have regarding our current talk or previous podcasts, please make your comment, put your questions at the comment section of our channel. Thank you. You know, our talk today seems as centered around a particular thing, and we are moving around it. As someone is also close to teenagers, supposing a teenager comes to meet you, Auntie, I'm done with school. School is not worth it. What are we going to school for? It's not for money. Only once I get money, what purpose of school? And the person means it. In our last podcast, I shared a story of a student that came in my department. She was actually begging, he was actually begging the mother to accept his decision. He was in 500 level. In fact, he was in the 6th year of 500 level. meaning that you already carried a year over.
Yeah.
He was not begging the mother to accept that he was done with school. That he had now seen his passion.
Hey.
That he wanted to be famous.
Hey.
As a musician, as a celebrity. He was done with school. Now, if a teenager comes to you, someone that sees you as a mentor, I'm done with school, auntie, as what will you counsel?
Hey.
It's really worth it.
Okay, I think first, I will take it from what you have said. I think where the issue is everyone equates schooling final results to money. And that everything about school is shebi is money, shebi is money. But at the end of the day, there's so much more about school that is actually different from money. So much more. The independence that I learned in the 4 walls of boarding house, I don't think anywhere else could have taught me what I learned there. That's at secondary school level.
Curriculum cannot even work.
Exactly. These are things soft skills that you will pick up. There are schools in this nation that you would see that it doesn't matter if the person graduates with 3rd class. The fact that the person went into that school environment, the person is groomed with an identity that they stand out, right? That's another thing. There's networking in school.
Exactly.
The honest truth is that the people that, for example, if someone becomes president today, that president definitely has classmates,
schoolmates,
right? Schoolmates and all that. And then finally, apart from the networking, right, that we get in school and things like that, and relationships that we build in school, the other thing is that there are heights that you can never attain without certificates. Their height. For example, the reason why they would drag a politician for no certificate is because certificate is important. If it's not important, they won't drag him that he doesn't have a certificate or something. So, these are all things that are not, we're not even talking money now. We're not talking money at all. So the identity that school is just all about being able to get money at the end of the day is something that we really need to work on as teenagers, as people that are growing. School is not all about money. And then there's this thing that one prof said at some point, that it's better to have a certificate that I won't use than need a certificate that I don't have. So I get to a position in life where I need a certificate, but I don't have it. And that's the only reason why I'm missing the opportunity. Why I could have had it and not use it, and it's okay.
It's there.
And it's just there, it's okay. So these are things that is not about money. The mindset, the framework, the value that you had to yourself in school, there are places that you can never get it from. That's the honest truth. So I mean, that's what I think, sir.
That's true. Education gives you leverage to fly to any height you want to. There must be, just like a plane. A plane cannot fly anywhere. A plane needs a runway. The education is like a runway that takes you up. Understand? So please, our viewers, education no be scam. We've always said it on this our podcast, and we will not stop saying it. To our youth out there, education no be scam.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now let's come back home. Your career, computer. Are you information scientist, computer scientist? Yes. Now, AI and the family. What caution do you want to give to the users of AI? Because it's, AI came as an assistive tool, just like any other thing that is developed to help. Do you sense a form of misuse in AI for families?
Okay. So I believe that the number one thing is for every family to embrace the reality that AI has come to stay.
Has come.
Now, when something that you have no control over has come to stay, what you can do is how you react or how you respond to that thing that has arrived. Yes, we embrace the fact that AI has come to stay, but at the end of the day, we also have a responsibility to use it correctly. Now, has AI been abused? Oh yes. Recently there was a research report that says that this generation of the generation of teenagers that we have, for the first time in history, their IQ is lower than the IQ of their parents. And courtesy access to it, because anything that I want to do right now, sincerely, I can just search about it online. I can just search, prompting correctly, you get the correct information, and then you move on with it. So there's no mental work with thinking, intellectual, these are the issues that AI can bring to the table. But you can have a responsibility as parents to guide, set boundaries, ensure discipline, set boundaries, ensure discipline, to ensure that your children, even though they know about these things, not that they will become irrelevant to the society, they are not aware, but you have the opportunity to guide them in how to use it, when to use it, how to use it correctly.
The correct use.
And so that's why I said that, I said it earlier, that parenting now is higher responsibility.
Much more.
Because the number of things that are trying to train your children at the same time has increased, including AI. So you have to be there, putting the bridges, putting the boundaries, putting everything such that your children know that, okay, for example, it's so sad that there was this thing that happened and they said it was AI that coached a guy to commit suicide. He kept interacting with AI, kept interacting, sharing his experience, and before you know it, the AI started recommending how to write the suicide note and everything. And it was a big case because the parents wanted to sue, but the deed had been done, right? And the guy was dead. So these are things that we have to put boundaries. We have to be intentional, but we first have to embrace the fact that AI is here and it has come to stay.
AI is here and has come to stay. What we need is to keep abreast of the demands, requirements of AI, so that AI will not replace us. It's quite unfortunate that a lot of people over-rely on AI. AI is virtually into everything. The people say, oh, I don't like AI, I don't want to use any AI tool.
AI can help you pray now. AI can help you spiritually.
AI gives sermons to men of God.
Yes. So these are the things that we...
So it involves... It's something we discussed a program earlier today on human agents. Human agents in an AI world. What's the role? What's our role? Really, we have a lot of roles to play as parents, and that's a parent can only lead a child to use AI right if and only if he also knows how to rightly use AI. But there's no way you cannot run from it. It's here with us. For you to know, there's a question that someone has said, will AI take our jobs? No, that shouldn't be the question. The question is, am I prepared for what AI will bring? Because if I'm not prepared, AI is coming. What we have currently is weak AI. It's narrow AI.
It's like
just
at the infancy level. That's the honest.
That's what we have. We are still going to general AI or strong AI. Then ultimately we are going to super AI. We don't know what those will bring out.
And we don't know. That's the funny thing. We don't know what it will bring.
That is the thing.
We don't know.
We don't know. Who expected that you have something like this in automation today? Who expected that AI will give virtually everything you want? Just prompt it. Just prompt it. And one thing we need to know as family people is that AI may not always be correct. Because it works on training data. It's what people has put into it that is work with. So you put garbage in, it will process the garbage out for us. And some people, because of their folly or laziness, is whatever AI brings out for them, they just pick it out, hook, line, and sinker. So that's the fearful future that we see is AI. People over relying on AI. Like the woman I mentioned at the beginning of this and off the camera before that was actually asked AI for the future course of her children. Was asking AI what AI would want her children to do You know, things like that. I think the AI gave response. The person, I think the person wanted to do, is it robotics? The mother wanted to have him to do medicine. The AI was now advising, yeah, I say, okay, you should start with medicine, you're going to do robotics later. You combining the two of them for them. And the person believed the AI response. He believed so much that the AI will give me, I'm going to follow you.
And like the AI is not living with that child. The AI does not know the strengths, the weaknesses, a lot about the child.
Now, as we're trying to round off, our viewers, I want our guests to say something a little about. There's some girls today, ladies today, who just don't want children. I want you to advise them. They don't want to be mothers. They don't want to raise children, but want to have. You know, they want to raise children, or they want to bear children, let me use that word. But they are not ready to raise them. What advice can you give?
So at the end of the day, right, whatever we do now is a seed for the future. Whatever we do, whether good or bad. If you bring a child to this world, you know, on Mother's Day, you see, I remember that there was a trend that time that they were saying that everybody's mother is the best mother on Mother's Day.
Of course.
So who are the mothers that are doing wrong in the society? And you know, things like that. And it was just a joke. But the reality is, whatever you sow, you will reap. If you decide to bring a child to this world, you do not raise the child, you do not invest the time that you are expected to invest in that child, you do not invest the things that you are supposed to invest, it is something you will reap. So the reality of life is, if you are ready to reap the negative, then no wahala. But if you know that, because most of those women, as much as they just want to bear children and then live their life and all that, they also want their children to turn out well. That's the difference. They don't want to do the work. It doesn't mean they don't like the result of the children that have been raised well. They like the result. I mean, I want to be able to say that my child did well. It's just the work that we don't want to put in. That's the truth. So it's a question of, sometimes it's a question of laziness. Sometimes it's a question of misplaced priorities. And so these are the things to address. If you want to bring a child to this world, particularly in this time that we have, understanding the times and season, the reality is you have to be committed to do the work. Because there are quite a number of children there. The competition is higher. Gone are the days where people can come out from school and then straight up they have scholarship, my dad abroad, you know, all those things. We don't have it. Everybody, like, competition is bad. That's the reality of things. And so if people are making effort, they're doing their due diligence on their own children, you don't expect them not to shine compared to your own children that you left. That's the honest truth. So, but you want that same result. So if you want the results, be ready to do the job. Yeah.
Great one. You know, when I was outside Nigeria some time ago, among the Chinese, really. No, I think Chinese. I met some families really, and asking, the woman will carry the husband and the children to the in-laws. What do you go and eat? You don't cook. Yes, I don't cook. I don't have a pot. I don't want my hands to get stained. As a mother.
Okay.
As a mother, I didn't want my hands to get stained or get old or ready. So it doesn't cook like water. Cook, wash plates, things like that. So they moved to. Whenever if you don't go to their in-laws' house, there are a lot of cafeterias. That Malaysia is scattered. I mean, scattered in some cafeterias. They eat out most of the time. Now, back to Nigeria too. I've seen people who refuse to breastfeed because they don't want their breast to go flat.
Yeah.
I mean, and traditionally, there's a link between a child and the heart of the mother.
Yeah.
But these are kind of the things that going to have issues with time. When we have children behaving like animals, they say it's because they didn't take enough breast milk. They took cow milk, they behave like cow. to goat milk. You know, things like that. So I think we have talked a lot of things. Our viewers, we have talked a lot of things today about motherhood, about career, about home, about importance of school, about different things from our guests. And as I said before, please, if you have any questions, any comment on today's podcast, please, let's have your comment at the comment section of this video. And let's me turn over to my guest once again to have a closing remark.
Okay, so closing remark. I think the first thing I want to say is that number one, your gender as a female is not a disadvantage. God made you a female for a reason. Embrace that identity, and you can still do great exploits as a female. Number two, everything that is being said on the internet, the statistics and everything that is being said about wrong things about family, about marriage, please try as much as possible to guide your heart so much that you don't base your judgment of a marriage you have not entered into based on the negativity that is around there. The truth is there are still people that are thriving maritally, thriving in their families, raising godly kids and doing well. Another thing is that there's room for you to have it all. You can have it all. Career, business, godly family, ministry, you can have it all by the grace of God and by hard work. You have to be intentional about whatever you want to become in life, and through the help of God, you can achieve it. And finally, I want to say that we've talked a lot on parenting. Parenting is a calling. Parenting is a call to responsibility, as I've said earlier. And we must embrace the reality of the current times and be intentional about parenting our kids in the right way, giving them the right values. And as we do that, I believe that every woman has greatness in them, and it's possible for their light to shine. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much. Our viewers, every woman has greatness in them, but it's a function of how such women make use or appropriate this seed of greatness that's in them. Once again, we appreciate you for joining us today on today's podcast. We thank our guests who, out of our busy schedule, squeezed out time to be here, despite the hot weather. And it's Saturday afternoon, she still managed to be here. We are grateful.
Thank you very much.
We do not take this for granted.
Thank you.
So our viewers, once again, please, we want your comment, your feedbacks, your questions. Please send them to us. Put them at the comment section of this podcast, and we'll get to you as soon as we are able to. Please, once again, like, share, and subscribe. Till we meet in our next podcast. See you. God bless you.